Today I am joined by Rebecca Hickman and Abigail Kelsey from HomeSchool ACTS to tell you about their upcoming production of A Christmas Wizard of Oz. Welcome to ciLiving.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. So can you tell me a little bit about HomeSchool ACTS? Let's start there.
Yes. So I'm the director of HomeSchool ACTS. ACTS stands for Academy of Christian Theater Students, and I co-direct with my daughter Bree Kelsey. We have been doing theater for 20 plus years.
Oh, wow.
Yes. We started out doing in the church, you know, with drama teams and such, and then bigger productions, and then walk-through dramas, and then we went into the homeschool theater. I homeschooled for 25 years, so my youngest ones did, we started with them, and now my grandchildren are in the theater. So our first play was in 2009.
Wow.
And so we took a small break in there, and we've been at it again now for several years. So
that's fantastic.
Yeah.
And Abigail, I see you're in full costume. I'm guessing you're playing Dorothy?
Yes, I'm Dorothy.
Can you tell me a little bit about your background? How old are you? When did you start in theater?
Well, I'm 15, and I started 3 years ago when we restarted our theater group. My mom is the co-director, and so I kind of wanted to do theater, so it kind of jump-started to make us do it again.
And how do you find other homeschool kids to get involved?
Okay, so there is a lot of homeschoolers in the area, and so there is a homeschool group in the Vermilion County, and a lot of those kids have joined, and we've welcomed, even if they weren't part of the group, you know, as long as they were a homeschool student, they were welcome to sign up, and we did 10 and up.
Okay.
But this year in our play, we've invited some littles since we needed some little elfins, you know. So we do have a younger crowd with us this year as well.
And is there an audition process? What does the rehearsal process look like? How does it work?
So there was no auditions. Everybody gets a part.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, everybody gets a part.
Good.
But we do have a lot of practices and long practices. Right now we're doing, you know, running twice through the play and multiple times a week, so they're working hard.
And how do you find places to rehearse? Do you rehearse at people's houses? Do you have a space?
So we started out at the Tidal Wave, which is the Go Church in Alvin. They have a youth building. So we started out there, and then when it got closer, we moved to Crossroads, and they've allowed us to use their stage, which is the big stage. So
very nice.
Yes.
And going back to your costume, I see you have the dog there. You guys were sharing with me a little bit before we started talking. Tell me the story behind the dog versus a real dog.
Well, the reason we have a stuffed dog is because if we were to get a real dog, well, that would probably just be a mess. So we have our little stuffed dog, Toto.
Yes, yeah, we were just thinking, would it hold up through the practices and all the stress and the chaos of the day of the play, and do we take the chance? And so we really wanted the real dog, but we decided probably ought to go with stuffed dog.
Probably ought to go with the stuffed. Yeah, much easier. They always say working with animals is difficult, so
yes,
you probably made a good decision.
I think so.
And then tell me a little bit about how the event is going to run. So if you get tickets, there are some receptions and things like that. What does Christmas Wizard of Oz look like?
Yes, so no tickets needed.
Okay.
Yep, so it is, you know, just come and enjoy the show. It's free admission. We do take donations at the door that help cover the cost of the play. So the play runs about 2 hours and 15-20 minutes, and there's just a little 5-minute break in the middle. So if anybody's saying, whoa, that's long, it's okay. But right after, we have a great reception. The parents put on a wonderful reception for the kids, and it's a great time for people to visit and take pictures with the cast members. We always have a photo booth set up there, and they get pictures with the cast.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And Abigail, tell me a little bit about the story. Christmas Wizard of Oz, how is it different from Wizard of Oz?
So the difference is obviously it's Christmas over just the regular Wizard of Oz. And instead of munchkins, we have elfins. So everybody's an elf instead of a munchkin. And the main characters are all the same, but just with a little Christmas twist.
So Dorothy's trying to get back home for Christmas.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, it is her storyline.
Yes.
So she's blown into Christmas land.
Yes.
And she's trying to find her way home for Christmas.
Nice. Well, before I moved back to the Midwest, that was always my challenge, was how am I going to get home? Because I moved to the West Coast. And then,
Got to get home for Christmas.
I think people can definitely relate. Well, in just a little bit, you're going to give us a preview performance. And thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
If you want more information about HomeSchool ACTS, visit our website at ciLiving.tv.